teach you everything about it, but I said, I don't know if that's something that I want to do because of the labor and all that. And he gave me a guarantee of a 3-year contract. And I was broke. So I took my hand and said, I'm your guy. So I started farming that way for Domino's Pizza. And I'm going to tell you right now, there's no one that knows how to farm with door hangers better than Domino's Pizza. They pretty much invented it. And what we did, which was so interesting, what I learned was, initially I thought, I remember getting a door hanger on my apartment door and I was annoyed by it. You know, it's an annoying thing. And it's kind of not as bad as telemarketing, but typically you have a lot of stuff in your hand. It's not that close. So, but what I learned from them is we would get they opened up the Sharon Road location. And we did coming soon, coming soon, coming soon, coming soon, coming soon, coming soon. You know, 2 pots on that. Now hiring, now hiring, now hiring, now hiring for weeks. Then now open, now open, now open, now open, now open. And then boom, the coupons, boom, 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 nonstop. That's an amazing way to sell something. And they're not doing $300,000 houses. They're doing pizzas that's $6.99, $10.99. But the amount of money that they put into it was astronomical. My challenge from him was, how can you get my costs lower and keep it lower? And so I did that. And then I picked up Bojangles account, and I picked up Autoville Car Wash. And then one day I was door hanging. I said, you know, I should get out of my apartment, I should get a house. So I decided that I wanted to move into a townhouse, Sardis Glen townhome. Now again, I started my business in 1989. So this is probably 91, 92-ish. And I said, walked into the little office, and I looked around and I said, this is nice. I'm your typical potential first-time home buyer. I know absolutely nothing about buying a home at this time. And then they said, well, and I said, who does your marketing? And I'm thinking, gee, pizza places and restaurants are trade for marketing, give you food. Maybe I can do a trade and get a townhouse. Yeah, right? They don't need anyone qualified or anything like that. So I called Ryan Holmes' main office in Charlotte, got an appointment with the marketing director. Go figure. I walked in, sat down with her, and I said, hi, my name's David Henderson, and I want to do advertising for you, and I want you to give me one of your townhouses. She just went, do you want to start all over again? Okay, well, did you go to Florida State? And she said, yes. And I said, well, I'm a Gators fan. She goes, that starts probably worse. And I said, do you know that guy in that picture? And she said, yeah, that's my best friend and favorite football player at FSU. His name's Greg Allen. I played high school ball with him. I ran track with him. And she goes, okay, now you're kidding. No, really, him and my brother are actually best friends. And so that's how the conversation got going. And she sat me down and educated me on here's how you do marketing or marketing pitch for a building. We did 20,000 door hangers. They sold in clothes, important clothes. They closed on 8 townhouses. Our division president called me in and said, how many door hangers can you do a month? And I told him, they said, we want to buy it all. Now, I have 2 business degrees. My 2 business degrees finally came in hand, and then they said, we want to buy all of them. I'm like, okay, no. And I doubled my price. So obviously I'm on to something. And so from there, I went to Mattamy Homes, which was Mulvaney, Pulte, KB Homes, Syntex, any of your first-time home builders, I did door hanging direct mail for. Then I ran into a guy's door hangers out there. I didn't like them, and I didn't think he was putting them out in the right place because, again, where you put your marketing, it matters. And it was going into lower income apartment complexes. So first-time home buyers, we're targeting apartment complexes based on the average certain rent on a 2-bedroom apartment. It's very, very important. Now today, we used to direct mail it back in the day. Apartments, you don't want to direct mail apartments. If you're looking for buyers, most of the farming that's talked about is how to get listings. I also help you do farming to help you get buyers. So I met Scott Wilkerson when him and Ian were in this one little office. And I said, I don't like the way your door hangers look. He goes, who are you? And I introduced myself. And so Scott was the first realtor client that I got. And when you door hang apartment complexes, the managers do not like you. Because they say you're stealing their tenants, and I never knew the American dream was a real apartment. So Scott and I got together and I said, hey, I'm door hanging for all these buildings, but they don't like the complaints they're getting. He said, look, I'm so new at this, man. Whatever I can do to help, I'll do it. I said, tell you what, I talked to them. They're gonna pay for the design, they're gonna pay for the printing, and they're gonna pay for the distribution. If you put your phone number on there. He said, you're kidding. No. So we put Scott Wilkerson's name on there, his phone number on there, and all the leads went in. So did the complaints, but he didn't mind that. Second thing I learned, I wasn't as smart in business as I thought I was, even though I had 2 business degrees. Why? I should have immediately went and got my doggone real estate license. Because I could have been doing that for myself, because I realized later, wow, he's getting this percent for that. So that's my story and how I got started. And then to shift a little bit, I said to Scott about 5 years later, Scott, why aren't you doing listings? Get your name out there. A lot of these people you put into these homes are now moving up. So we did shift it. Finally, took him a lot of years, but actually, if you guys know his story, he was a buyer's agent only. Same with David Upchurch. David Upchurch and I have done a lot of marketing together. I saw one of his door hangers. Matter of fact, I did a drop for him for apartments, and he says, I want if you guys know David, I want to know when you start, where you start, I want to know exactly what times. Well, it's apartments, we start at 3 o'clock in the morning. We're out there door hanging, and there's David Upchurch walking around. Then he calls me and goes, how the heck are y'all getting so many door hangers out so fast? Like that. I said, so we started doing the same thing. He started farming. Talked to him doing listings. He started farming. Small amount every month. Probably about the 3rd or 4th month, it was, man, look, I'm gonna do this anymore. David, listen, 2 more months. Just 2 more months. And then boom, phone started ringing. And then this quantity tripled. And now the rest is history. I sat him down, taught him EDDM. He does his own EDDM mailing. I will work with you. There's so many different things that you can do farming wise. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, this guy knows so much about real estate. If you guys are not sure on your farming, just what he's doing in Skybrook just blows my mind. It blows my mind first and foremost because I didn't have to convince him to do it. The second thing is I didn't have to say, here's what I suggest for you to do. He basically said, here's what I'm doing. Here's where I want to go. Here's how often I want to do it. Just make sure it's done. Period. Do we run into problems? Occasionally, because we're dealing with the post office. I think one time Ben showed up somewhere it shouldn't have showed up with your cards, but it happens. So anytime that happens, don't just panic and stop doing it. You want to keep doing it. So let me help you guys with some of the major things that happen when people are farming and what scares them away from. Here's a postcard that I did for a local realtor. And a lot of this stuff here is not in your folder because they asked for me not to really show what they did.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I know. But I'm showing you. So this is her postcard. We did about 60,000 of these, and we picked the areas that we wanted to farm, and we hit those same areas over and over and over. To get her postal price down, I used Every Door Direct Mail. That's where I go into the computer and I pull up and I do the bundling, the wrapping, and I drop them off personally, or my assistant does. Now, what I do, so that you can be careful, because this is for listing. When you're doing Every Door Direct Mail, you then want to go to Google Maps. And you want to do the satellite. You want to look for rooftops. Those rooftops that you see clustered everywhere, those are your multiple family dwellings. On EDDM, you cannot separate. So you need to figure out what routes those apartment complexes are. On an apartment complex on one of your routes with your single family dwelling units, you're going to hit it. If you do the whole route, you're going to mail to the houses and to those renters. Now I know a way around that. I've learned to stop talking so much, so I'm not gonna tell you the way around that. But if you hire me, I'll make sure that doesn't happen. Then we try to get a little bit more creative and more aggressive. When's the last time you've gone home? And there's a door here, door. Now, when's the last time you went home and you got your mail and there was more than one piece of mail? We call this solo direct mail. There's no such thing as solo direct mail. This is going to hit the mailbox, typically on Wednesday. Unless you hire me and you know a way around that. Because when you're doing your bulk mail, you're taking it to a local post office unit and you're dropping it off. They're going to hold it until that little junk mail piece with the inserts and stuff. Now they gotta stop at every house. When you do every door direct mail, the postal carrier days longer because you gotta mail the whole route. He or she is now stopping at every house to put your postcard. Whether their flag's up or not, whether they have mail, they're stopping at every house. So they're gonna say, well, here this is, I'm gonna hold it till Wednesday. By law, and they make it known, the post office has up to 3 to 6 weeks that they can deliver this. So you have to know what you're dealing with. I don't mail at the local. I go to the mailing business unit that handles all bulk mail that comes into Charlotte over by the airport. Yeah. I bypass that. I bypass it going out into the mailbox of Wednesday. Does it happen sometimes? Absolutely. But there's a way around. If you're looking to do stuff on a larger scale and you need to be trained how to do it, I'll help you with that. I charge you, but I will help you with that. And that's the best way of handling that is buying your own bulk mail permit. So there's classes on that, and I can easily walk you through that. Now, the door hanging, we're bypassing all that. We're picking our area, we're picking our day. So let's get our costs down. We took our piece here, and we converted it into a one-sided door hanger. We sold home improvement ads on the back. So what I did is I said, okay, here's what we're paying for the bulk, here's what we're paying for our farming via postcards. Now let's do farming via door hangers. And we're going to put home improvement companies on that. One of the things a lot of realtors have is connections with somebody that does carpentry work, somebody that does roofing, somebody that does painting. If you don't, you need to, because your listings are going to need to be cleaned up or new roof or HVAC. Get those contractors' names and numbers, and if you work with me, I'll contact them, I'll meet with them, and I'll do that labor for you. That's getting your price down. What happens when you get your price down? You can farm larger areas. You pick different neighborhoods, okay? Then this started working for us. She really likes direct mail. So I took her postcard, and I took the back of it, which is where all the meats and potatoes. And so we did this. And then we went back to the home improvement companies, and we put them on a postcard. So she has the front side, she pays more, but by paying more, she's the one saying, here's where I wanted to go. Here's when I wanted to go out. And these people are like, how much am I paying per house? We tell them, you know, absolutely. She's in charge of when it goes out there. What do they want? Single family dwelling. They don't want apartment. Now her price dropped by 40%. Okay. So these are the things that I know that you can do. There's so much more. I'm a print broker. For 14 months, my parents told me to go get a real job. Out of college for 14 months before I started my business, I worked at a company that sold printing equipment and copiers. I learned a lot about printing, so I became a print broker. This is some of the stuff that I do for anyone who wants to do or is doing high-end real estate. When you go on a presentation, I am a stickler on everything that we do. We want to make sure it looks good. And this is a pocket folder, presentation folder for a listing appointment. This is for a company in Florida. When you open it up and look inside, that's what they're seeing. So if you're representing or trying to pitch somebody for $1 million home, you want to look like $1 million acre. And this is how you do it. This is one of the ways of doing it. And if I'm going to go try to get a listing at $1 million home, I have no problem paying $1.50. This is one for New York. I design, print, and I do mailing for realtors all across the country. I've had a client, we've been printing and doing mailing for, he does his own mailing now, what we do is printing. The exact same 7 postcards for 15 years. Nothing's changed. The exact same postcard. He is one of the largest RE/MAX agents in the world. Same ones over and over and over. So this is what I do. When you're doing farming with me or printing with me, there's other little things I can help you with. And that is, here's one of my clients, Brandon Pizza Place. He puts out 40,000 pizzas every month. Well, I could go in for like a couple $100 and come to you guys and say, hey, look, hey, Bill, here's this new pizza place by you. For $250, every time he goes out, I could have you down here. Just give it a little extra branding. Business to business, he wants to increase his lunch. I have people who go out to office buildings and hand out flyers and stuff. Why not? If you're looking to buy or sell a home, little tagline right here at the bottom. And all you're doing is just helping this guy supplement his price for his printing and stuff. But imagine for $250, somebody calls you and say, hey, I'm looking to sell my house. And not a bad thing. Any questions? I know we're time crunch, so anybody have any? Those are my packages here. I have some samples in there, my business cards in there. Give me a call if you want to schedule an appointment. I'm doing this program here called Door Deals. Door Deals is where I team up with other people. Where I team up with people and get your price down. I'm doing 10,000 per area, and that's 17.5 cents. For 17.5 cents, you can have this full size design, printed, and professional door. For 17.5. You can pick your area. It has to be door hangable homes. Newsflash, these are not door hangable homes. So if you don't have any questions, if you want to come talk to me or grab me later, set up an appointment, or just chat with me, I'm here. I appreciate the opportunity. Like always, brother, I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Thanks, David. Thank you very much.